All right, take two. We had a call interruption. I don't edit anything, and I don't plan on editing anything. This first season is just me trying to figure out how to be a dad, and in that, do the things that I enjoy doing, which is being a pirate, advertising, growing food, and being part of a family. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do until I die. And of course I do the tech work because, well, it pays the bills. But hopefully sometime here shortly we won't have to be worried about that. We'll be doing something else. In the meantime, like I said, we just got back. We just left Moultrie, Georgia, and heading to, well, we're going to Brooksville first to see a friend of ours and crash out for the night. There's a day layover between shows, and normally you either get a hotel or a motel, go see family, go see friends. But then tomorrow we'll go and get into our condo, I think, or maybe the next day. I don't know. We're talking about going fishing or something. But anyways, so that's all the stuff going on there. I really am excited about the opportunity of being a dad. I'm one of those kind of guys that if I say I'm going to actually do it, I'm either 100% in or I'm 100% out. There's no, I'm not one of those guys, well, is he in or is he not in? No, I'll be in, and I'll be in so deep right off the bat, 100%, that I may say stuff to you that just, or to her or to someone that is parent PJ thinking what's best for this girl. In my opinion, it might not be the best thing according to her mother or her family or something else. I'm just trying to be optimistic about what it is. But normally, most of the things that I got to say or think about are in agreement with her mom. So, I'm one of those kind of guys. I don't believe in forcing religion on a kid, or the Bible says train them in the way they should go. It doesn't say indoctrinate them so that they believe in Jesus. When you do that, some kids will take and some won't. I know a guy that's got 3 daughters, 2 of which are Christians of some sort. One is a little bit more judgmental than the other one, but they are Christians. And the other one doesn't want anything to do with Christianity at all. And now the family, and so, anyways, it's just a crazy thing. And I don't all the way understand it all, and I, to be honest, don't care what the dynamic is or why it's broken or why it seems that way. I just know that when I teach a child, I want to teach a child to think for himself or herself. I don't want them to just say things back to me just to say things back to me. I want them to be who they're going to be. I want them to be wise in their decisions, but they know why they're wise in their decisions. They chose to do this or they chose to do that. And if they get in trouble for choosing to do that, know that there is consequences for those things, and you will end up paying for it some way or another. If you don't get caught by us, the guilt will eat you up. I mean, because that's just the way honesty and truth and integrity work. If you have them and you do something that's not right, it makes you uncomfortable, and it makes your energy that's inside of you, the stuff that people can sense about you, your vibe, your mojo, your spirit being, who you are as a person, whatever you want to call that thing, it gets to be at a frequency or a vibe or something, and depending on who your friends are and all that kind of stuff, it could be an attraction or a detraction. It could be confusion. It could be all kinds of things that someone else is like, even though that you're understanding and you're clear. So I got a lot of energy things on my mind this weekend because I joke about sex trafficking industry. Not really joke about it, but I just do what I can do. I try to bring awareness to it, reminding people that the state of Florida is number 3. Well, it used to be. I'm going to have to double check my statistics. Number 3 in the human trafficking trade, which is basically modern day slavery. Most of the time, when you say human trafficking, people think of prostitutes, which is, you know, that's fine. You can think that's what it is, but that's not what it's all about. There is a lot of domestic and a lot of other things that happen and are going on in domestic in human trafficking. But I last year in Webster, I picked up a mannequin that didn't have any hands, so I got a discount. The guy was like, I can't give you a discount because you got no hand. He's a retired preacher of some sort or whatever, I don't know. But he told me that this mannequin was a prop in bringing awareness to sex trafficking. He says the face of the prop is very alluring to men who like that look, and there seems to be a lot of them. I'm an Asian guy. I really like my Asian girls, but that's just me, you know. This girl, I think she got a pretty face, but she, you know, she nothing for me. I mean, if she was a real person and she was my girl, I'd be happy as hell. Don't get me wrong at all. But I'm just saying, as a general speaking out, my favorite type of girl, I like brown girls. I like Asian. I like Spanish. You know, that's just me. I like Indian. I like German Indian especially. Oh, they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful women. Anyways, you know, so I had her out there, and the first day she didn't have any clothes on, and so it was like, what do you do with, you know, and I call it Dirty Old Man Day. It was all the old guys that are classic car enthusiasts on Friday. We did a very good job at showing polish because we had everybody laughing. But almost all the jokes that really got people laughing were coarse jokes about human trafficking, specifically about how much the mannequin is. Because I got a price on her that's pretty expensive. And they're like, you know, and of course, if you're talking about human trafficking, you don't want to sell your asset. Okay? If you are human trafficking people, this person is an asset. That's all they see it as. It's a money-making girl. She makes money. Just having her sit there in nearly naked, she brought people over to talk at our booth and made me $200 just in sales that I could associate with her. And she's just a mannequin. And had a lot of laughs. I mean, had a lot of laughs with a lot of guys. Then yesterday was Family Day. And in Family Day, I figured, you know, I didn't know exactly, so because she did such a good job at doing what she had to do, I went ahead and gave her some clothes, put a pirate outfit on her, and made her look good. And funny thing was, is people were walking by and they were jumping because they didn't realize that she wasn't real. They thought she was real. And so all that's real fun and dandy until you lose an eye. And so yesterday, again, she brought in a lot of jokes and a lot of laughter, but you know, it was really all about human trafficking. And then today is Pirate Sunday, where we do all kinds of crazy pirate things, and so we had some people participate, which was ironic because normally they all run away. But again, there's a shift in these shows where there's a younger crowd that wants to come out and do stuff, but they're not always necessarily into just the classic cars. There's other entertainment and other things that they would like to see. It's like going to Key West. Key West, you go. Almost everybody who goes to Key West for the first time goes to Mallory Square at sundown. Well, if you're going to Key West, there's spectacular sunsets, and right before the sunset, there's these live street shows, and they're great. And these guys make their money there. They make enough money to live in Key West, which is not cheap. They work hard for their money. And it's tourism based, and they do sideshows and all that kind of stuff when the ships come in, the cruise ships and all that. And so it's pretty nice. Oh, forgot my turn signal was on. Beep, beep, beep. And so that was, you know, and so I'm gonna have to rethink the sex trafficking thing, because Two Hooks did a really good job. Why do we call her Two Hooks? Because she had no hands. And so this week, on the home front, I've definitely been thinking about how I'm going to help Pseudo's mom do her homeschooling. So I got to figure out, you know, when I get back to them, if they haven't already bought one, finding them something that's going to be good for her online curriculum, so she can take her little laptop and go around and do online curriculum, and then she can read to me for some of her stuff, and you know, I'll teach her some geography or whatever, sciences and things like that that I enjoy doing, and stuff that you know is accredited. We'll make sure everything that we're doing is making sure she does pass any exam that we might have to take, but it's just really being, you know, doing what's right for her, you know, being the person that's, you know, one of the people, she got a lot of people in her support group. She got, you know, they make a joke that it takes a village to raise a child, and it really does. And, you know, I'm fortunate to be one of the pawns in the village people. So, you know, I'm the pirate in the village people. Arr, arr. Oh, didn't they have a pirate? Did they have a pirate in the village people? I don't know. YMCA. Anyways, so with all that kind of said and done, you know, we shanghaied Austin finally, got him pried away, and he's coming out to the show with us, and so we'll see what happens. But everything right now is it's pretty interesting, to say the least. I am thoroughly happy that I moved to Missouri for this season, and we'll see what happens in the springtime. I do plan on being here until October of next year, at which time I'll, you know, sooner or later I got to come to Tampa, usually for this show this weekend. So this will probably be next year. This will be on next year's show, and I have to figure out what I'm going to fill in other places. Because, like I said, if I'm going to be a dad, and I say that, and I'm telling you guys that because I'm holding you guys accountable. Hey, what happened to the, you know, because the only two people that can stop me from being the dad that I need to be are those two. Because I won't quit. I'm just not that guy. I just don't give up on people. You know, 18 years I've been chasing her mom, and I still haven't given up on her. I allowed her to give up on me and say it's not, and you're not the guy, and that's fine. You know, whatever I may have said to her, or whatever energy that I get off that is not resonating with her, not making her feel comfortable, which is fine. That same energy, her daughter loves. That, you know, there's a guy that really cares for me and wants to see me succeed and be the best that I can be. And that's something that I'll never really truly understand. But yeah, no, I'll eventually will understand why that is. But it definitely has to do with the energy. And when I say energy, you know, that really is about your inner spirit. If you're a Christian, it's about your spirit. It's about the Holy Spirit inside of you, the part of you that connects us back to the Creator. It's that energy, and you know, and to use Star Trek terms, because that's kind of what it is. It is a warp core signature. Everyone is unique. It's kind of like a fingerprint, and you know, there are groupings of these things that happen that seem to be actually somewhat true. I mean, if you go and you actually study and look at horoscope, and you look at some of the physiological issues that the people that are Capricorns have, it is actually a higher percentage that they have knee trouble, and they have back problems, and they have certain ailments that seem to plague these people more than others, where they may not have cancer as often, they have other ailments more so. And so it's those kind of things, you know, they're odd, that you wonder, you know, and that's all about how God created things. And many religions will excommunicate another religion because it talks about something that is obvious to them, but they don't want to even admit that it exists. For example, my friend likes to, she can feel energy out of rocks. There are some rocks she thinks that can heal, and some rocks that can harm. There are rocks of protection, and I don't know how many of these rocks or what she feels about these rocks. I just think they're cool rocks to begin with. But that faith in those rocks having energy, at first I was skeptical. And then I had to start doing some thinking about rocks and energy. Well, uranium's a rock. And if you put that uranium in your pocket, you'll get cancer, I assure you. And especially if you leave that rock in your pocket for years. So why is it that we can say, yes, rocks give off energy like uranium gives off energy that is harmful to our body? Why can't there be rocks that are out there that give off energy that are beneficial to our body? You don't think the Creator could do that? And dumbfound people so that those that are of a religious nature would look at that and say, oh no, that can't be, no way, that's impossible. Well, you know, it's not impossible. And what we have to recognize as people that believe one way, and that is in the way, which is Jesus, those of us that believe that should not excommunicate anyone. The only time you should excommunicate someone is when they do something super malicious against somebody. And when I mean something like that, I mean like pedophile type stuff. I mean, like, you know, if somebody was a pedophile and did something to Annalise, then, you know, they would have to, one of us would kill you. Either Glory would kill you or I would kill you. And if she killed you, I would say that I killed you so that she wouldn't go to jail, because that's just the kind of people that we are. And that kind of offense should be excommunicated. That has no purpose or place inside a family or in a church is really a family. But you can't have that. Now, if you've been convicted and you are no longer that way, and they want to give you that opportunity to be around people, that's, you know, that's them. But for me, once a pedophile, always a pedophile. You ain't coming around my kid, period. Pooh. Sorry. The risk is just too great. Now, you come to my office, and you come to my barn, and you come work for me, but when my daughter's around, don't you ever be alone with her, because you'll be fired on the spot. And that's just the way I feel about it. And you know, that's a dad instinct, and that's something that's been beating me for a long time. I worked in foster care for a long time, and worked in the shelter systems for a long time, and those things really have changed my perspective on some things, and it is what it is. But with all that said and done, we just found out from Mike on my last phone call that that deep sea fishing on the Atlantic side is out. So he's calling around now to fish on the Gulf side, and so we may be able to get on the Gulf, but we are not able to get out on the Atlantic side this time around. And so we got to figure out what we're going to do with that. I said, hey, you know, worst comes to worst, we can go get on an alligator boat, and you know, or something like that. But with all that said and done, it's been an incredible week for me. I got a couple messages from my pseudo, and one, she just told me she loved me, and that just made my heart just melt. I just, you know, I'm out here, I left, and I'm thinking, okay, and I'm like, did I do the right thing? You know, and I did. I absolutely did the right thing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's building a future for my daughter. And you know, and that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I have to do that. It's just what I feel that I should do. If I was really her dad, and this is what I would do. What's the difference between me being her real dad and not is she may not share my DNA, and I don't share rights to, like, you know, I would never try to take her from her mom or something of that nature. That would be wrong to begin with, but you know what I'm saying? I would never try to get custody, you know what I mean? So there's a couple things that are never going to be there, which is fine, because I really don't want custody of a child. But to be a dad, you don't have to have custody to show up, to teach, to be in their lives, to you know, to do different things for them, and to go different places with them, and to do whatever it is that we need to do as a dad and a kid, you know, to teach them the life skills that they're going to need to survive in a very different world than when I grew up. And so, as much as I would like to keep her sheltered away from everything, we do have to bring awareness, and part of that's going to be digital media, and that's what we're working on right now, trying to figure out how we're going to communicate, because I am on the road so much. But the nice thing about my job is I go across over to past her house a lot, and I just can zoom in, give a hug, say hi, remind her I love her, and I do. I absolutely love that kid more than I love my own self, which is unconditional love, which is what I came here to learn. And I got schooled again about unconditional love through the hoe over here, Two Hooks, who more or less has told me, who showed me about some of the depravity of man this weekend. But with all that said and done, I still absolutely care for my little girl more than I have ever cared for anybody in my entire life. And I don't care who knows it, including you.